everyone. Thanks for tuning in to this Saturday edition of Dogman Stories. I know it's early, but I got some school shopping to do like most of you, so I thought I'd go ahead and upload. I hope you enjoy. Tonight's guest, Cara, barely escaped with her life and has the scars to prove it. Let's find out what happened. Chased by a werewolf. It was a cold, dreary day in December. I had went out for my morning run after putting on my rain gear exercise clothes. I run every morning around the same time. It's usually about 6 a.m. when I head out the door. I run down my driveway and out to the road, always against traffic, because my main fear was being hit by a car from behind. So I started running down the road against traffic as I usually do. Not that there's much traffic on my road, but you never know. I start on Surrey Way and go around the block to East Langdon Road. I cross over Heaton Ford Road and head down the rural side of East Langdon Road and run up to Alice Lane. I usually run down to the cul-de-sac on Alice Lane and I turn around and jog back home, which is on Surrey Way. That's my usual route every morning. It's about a 5-mile round jog. I do stop for water at the end of Alice Lane. There's no house right there, so I can sit and catch my breath. And the area is open field with trees all around. I do live in Kentucky, which is a beautiful state. I now realize I'm close to a nature preserve park that is about 30 to 45 minutes away. Anyways, I was catching my bearings and I felt this odd feeling come over me. I'm not sure how to explain it, but it was as if I was scared, full of fear. I didn't understand it or knew what it meant, so I started to jog back home. When I got to the stop sign at Alice Lane, I stopped. I had this feeling someone was watching me, so I looked around, but there was nothing. I thought I was going crazy, so I put my headphones in and I started home. I was jogging at the pace, jamming to my tones. I could see the intersection of Heaton Ford Road when out of the corner of my eye, I seen this thing, or a hand, try to grab my arm where my phone was attached. It ripped my phone off my arm and the claw must have scratched me because there was pain. I spun around to see what it was. I froze. I could not believe what I was looking at. I have heard the stories, but I did not believe it until now, that is, when I'm about to die from being ripped apart. I was staring face to face with a werewolf. Not knowing what to do, I just stared at it in the eyes and slowly backed up. It was staring at me. I couldn't tell what it was thinking. The look of this creature alone was evil. At first, it was walking toward me on all four, growling. Then it stood up on 2 legs and made a bone-popping noise. I happened to remember I had pepper spray in a pocket on my pants, just in case of strangers, not werewolves. I didn't know if it would work, but what the hell? Do or die, right? This thing had my phone, so I couldn't call for help. And God, it stunk. It smelled as if it was 100 years old and had never took a bath. My phone started ringing, which seemed to set this creature off in a rage. It used its hands to pick the phone up and it started biting my phone. At that moment, I got the spray out and I was so scared, I stepped forward and when it looked at me, I fired with all I had. I fired the pepper spray into its eyes and nose. It screamed and howled, and it even covered its eyes with its hands that were huge, with 3 to 4 inch claws on them. I ran for my life. I knew I was a mile from my home. I wouldn't tire out, but I didn't know how fast this thing could run. I could still hear it screaming as I was running. I seen a few people look out and shut their doors as fast as they opened them. I glanced back. It had started to chase me. It seemed to be running side to side as if it was off balance. Its arms and feet were running just like me. Its arms were swaying like someone would if they were jogging. This thing was jogging just like I was, but it was more into a sprint at this time. I was almost home, and it had gained a lot of ground on me. It was no more than 50 feet behind me when I got to my door, which I had left unlocked, thank God, because if not, that would have been where I died, at my front door. I shut the door as fast as I could. It was my side door, so there was windows halfway down it. I turned around, and there it was, staring at me, breathing hard and growling. It was very angry, which I would be too if I got pepper sprayed. The doorknob began to turn. What? This thing can open a door? I locked the deadbolt very fast and grabbed a landline phone and called the police. Of course, they laughed at me. I mean, come on, I told them a werewolf was chasing me. When I looked at the door again, it was gone. I didn't go outside none that day. I locked all the windows and kept a check on my surveillance system. Scared it would come back, I moved in with my mom across town. The day I moved, I noticed gashes all over my home, on the window screens, vinyl siding, and even my front door, as if it was trying to claw its way in. I told the neighbors everything. They thought I was crazy, but they did mention all of their animals had disappeared, along with all the neighborhood animals. My neighbors had 2 dogs and 4 cats. That's weird, but I'm sure they became Scooby snacks to this werewolf. I know what I saw. It chased me. It scratched me. I have the scar to prove it. 2 scars, actually. I can't tell you how the one on my side happened. Everything happened so fast. I have nightmares every night, and I now live in the city in an apartment. Thanks for listening. I didn't know who else to tell. But you know, the weirdest thing out of all of this is the thing was smart enough to turn my doorknob, which scares the hell out of me. Thank you for listening, Cara. Well, Cara, that's one hell of an encounter. I'm glad you're here to tell the story. I would have died in the street, probably. And yes, Cara, these animals can actually open doors. So keep your doors locked and your windows. Well, guys, that's all the time we have for tonight. If you or someone you know have an encounter and they want to talk to me or share it on the show, you can send me an email at dogmanstories@gmail.com or message me on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page now. It's called Dogman Stories. So just check it out. And I hope you all have a great weekend and be safe. This is a little segment I would like to call Werewolf History that we will start doing at the end of each show. Since ancient times, the fusion of man and wolf has been the stuff of legend and folklore. War was the word for man in Old English. Werewolf legends span so far back that their existence almost certainly predates recorded history. The earliest written accounts of werewolves was recorded in 440 BC. Werewolves rarely attack humans, and they are not stupid. They have learned quickly not to mess with humans. They usually pose a threat in winter months when food is scarce. That's probably why most attacks on humans happen in November, December, January, and February. The full moon theory is not true. It came to folklore much later through stories handed down from generations. So, with that being said, here is a little bit of werewolf history. Now, we believe werewolves are evil, which they do look evil. Hollywood has made the werewolf an image that people just will not get out of their head. But in reality, they are a sophisticated animal. I would say possibly a humanoid, much like the Bigfoot. They're smart, they're not dumb, Obviously, they can open doors and find their way through homes and stuff, but it's all up to you. Everybody has an opinion. So with that being said, I appreciate you sticking around for a little bit of werewolf history, and have a great weekend. Goodbye. Thanks for tuning in to Dogman Stories YouTube channel. Tune in next weekend for a wonderful show. We've got a scary show next week. It'll be Saturday at 9 p.m. And from now on, we're only going to do one show a week for right now until further notice. So I hope you tune in next Saturday at 9 p.m. Have a great weekend and try to watch out for them Dogman. Also, if you'd like to support the Dogman Stories YouTube channel, you know where the support button is on the main screen of your YouTube page. Just hit it and donate as little or as much as you want to, and it'd be greatly appreciated. Everyone, have a great day.